Let's jump right into this Modbap Deconstruct. We're going to be using the Trinity drum synth, the Meridian, and the hue. So we're going to start by auditioning the sounds in the Trinity. It's the kick drum. Then we have our next sound, which is the snare. The sound cycles through the different algorithms, so every snare hit will be different. And then the last sound we have will be the hi-hat, hence the name Trinity, kick, snare, hi-hat. So all these sounds are being triggered with the Digitakt, and that's hooked up via the Mutant Brain MIDI to CV module. So that's how we're triggering all the sounds and sequencing all the sounds. So one of my perspectives on Modbap is, it's hip hop because it keeps a tempo and it keeps a pace. The kicks and snares are falling in the right place, but it's a different snare, giving it a little probability and making it a little different than standard hip hop. So now we're going to get into some modulation. So here's where it gets really interesting, and this is my favorite part of modular. So basically modulation is doing what I'm doing right now. It's turning a knob. So instead of turning it with my hand, I would use an LFO, which is a low frequency oscillator, to do that function. So here's the LFO up here. So you can see the LED when it's blinking fast. That means the knob will be turning fast, and if it's going slow, it will turn the knob slow. So let's patch that in and hear how that sounds. So now I'm going to get another LFO from down here, and I'm going to patch that into what I'm doing now, which is turning the crush knob. So I want to automate that as well. And then I also want to automate the cutoff of the second side of the filter. So I would need 3 hands to do all of this, so we'll use LFOs to automate this function. So now we're going to patch the LFO into the crush. Now I'm going to add another LFO to automate the cutoff of the second filter. So moving on, now we are going to use the hue module to color and add a little more texture to the sound. So on one channel, we're going to have the Trinity going through the Meridian. And then on the second channel, we're going to have the Trinity going through the Meridian being processed through the hue. And we'll do some A/B comparisons. So here's the Trinity and Meridian. And here's the Trinity, Meridian, and hue. Checking out the high pass and low pass filter. It's really smooth. I like it. It's smooth to the touch, it feels sturdy, and then also sonically smooth. So moving forward, we are going to process this drum loop through the hue. So I'm going to patch the output of the Meridian into the hue, and now we're going to rock our sequence. right, next on the sonic menu, we are going to do a different set of sounds in sequence. So we have first up Trinity and Meridian, and then the second set is going to be the Trinity and Meridian going through the hue. So let's check these out. Now let's hear that same loop through the hue. Add some color and some texture. So for this last piece, I have the Trinity and the Meridian on one track, and then on the second track, I have the Trinity and Meridian going through the hue, and the hue is high passed, and I'm just going to experiment and have some fun with it. Thanks for joining me.